Chapter 19 of 1 Kings is such an interesting chapter because it details an event that happened in the life of Elijah. Elijah, man of God, God sent him to carry a message. He carried the message, then 3.5 years in the wilderness and with the widow. Comes back, he has a tremendous victory over the prophets of Baal. And then God sends a rain to show that he was withholding his hand of judgment against the nation of Israel. The rain was coming. So over the last several days, Elijah has seen great victories in his life. And then all of a sudden, he gets a message. And that message made him run for his life. Have you ever received a message and all of a sudden your world changes drastically? I remember one day sitting in my cardiologist's office. He was at his desk and 38 years old. He looked across the desk at me and he says, "Michael, you need open heart surgery." Open heart surgery at 38 years old. That one message just kind of has such an impact on my life and brought discouragement and some other things that came in, but God was good and God blessed me through it all. But here's Elijah. He gets a note from Queen Jezebel, and the note says, "I'm going to do to you what you did to the prophets of Baal." So what does Elijah do? Man just had great victories. The Lord was working in his life. It says in 1 Kings chapter 19, he ran for his life. He ran for his life. He ran away. And then when he got to a certain place, he left his servant there and he went further. He gets underneath a juniper tree and he cries out to the Lord, "Just let me die. Just let me die." So he went from the mountaintop of victories in one day's time to the valley of despair, to discouragement and depression. So how do we handle this? Because things we can happen in life and all of a sudden we can get something and it will just, all of a sudden it just shakes our world. How do we handle discouragement? How do we handle depression? How do we handle what Elijah's going through when he's just got underneath the tree and says, "Lord, just let me die"? Well, we're going to walk through this and we're going to see what God did for Elijah that he can do for you today to encourage you, to lift you on high, and to set you on the solid ground. Because when you're in depression, it feels like the earth beneath you is sinking. So what do we do? Well, let me give you the very first thing. The first thing is this: cry out to the Lord. Notice what Elijah did. He got underneath the juniper tree. The most productive thing he did was he cried out to the Lord. Now, he ran for his life. Then he isolated himself, and that's what we do a lot of times. We run away from the problem, and then we isolate ourselves. We get all by ourselves, and that makes everything even worse. But what Elijah did first is he cried out to the Lord, and he said, "Lord, this is what I'm going through." Prayer. Get along with God and share with God what is on your heart, what you are facing. Don't do it like you do other people. Because a lot of times we can be hurt and we can be discouraged, and all of a sudden somebody goes, "How you doing?" "I'm all right, I'm fine." Don't do that with the Lord. Get alone with the Lord and tell him exactly how you feel. Tell him what you're facing. And let the Lord begin to work in your heart and in your life to bring you back to that solid foundation. We'll look at the next step tomorrow, how we can be on the road to recovery. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.